Hi, I'm Gary and this is the Celtic Drama. Welcome back, Whisky Folk, to another episode of the Celtic Drama here in the dining room. Tonight I've decided to grab a slightly big miniature. Bit of an oxymoron there, but hey, why not? I have grabbed a wee bottle of Dalwhinnie 15. Reason for grabbing it, because we're going to do a wee bottle kill. Dalwhinnie, suppose it's on the southern end of the Highlands, on the north end of Perthshire. It's one of these conflicting distilleries where it's a Speyside or a Highland. I think the water source is technically Speyside, but the distillery is really situated in, I suppose geographically it's the Highlands. So it's a fine line there. Some people talk about there being a cross in Scotland, the kind of Speyside Highland and Highland Lowland sort of sign, and often they'll say taking Dalwhinnie as the line. So it's I think technically Highland. What does it say in the bottle? Does it say anything on the bottle? Let's have a look. Dig out the old Gregory's again. And what's so it's a Highland single malt. There you go. We'll take that one. And we'll get some of this in the glass. Some of it, all of it, because there we go, folks. Getting a bottle kill on that 200ml. Dalwhinnie as a distillery is, as I said, located down in the Southern Highlands, and off the top of my head, it's part of the or ownership of Diageo. So if you ever go and visit the distillery, you go into the shop, you'll find a lot of the Diageo core range whiskies in there that you'll get from all the other Diageo distilleries. That's the thing. If any of you have ever been around any of these the Diageo owned distilleries, they tend to stock the whiskey from their other distilleries as well. So it's quite good. You can go into Dalwhinnie and you'll be able to buy Clean Leash or something like that. So it's cool. Now let's get this one a wee sniff. Now if I remember, it's, I just want to check the ABV before I go on it. I think it's slightly higher than the 40. Yep, it's a 43%. They were starting in my head telling me it's just slightly higher. So we'll give this one a wee sniff. Refreshing. For me, it's got that Highland sort of sweet heatheriness, but there is also that orchardiness of a Speyside as well. It's light, as I said, it's refreshing. Orangey, citrusy, maybe mandarin type thing. Nothing overly complicated on the nose, just comes across as clean. Lots of honey on the initial taste. Quite a smooth mouthfeel, but again it's almost a slight wateriness to it. There's that orangeness, it's almost like an orange honey. Marmalade. Have now we sip. There's something coming over me, it's almost like eucalyptus or something like that. In the UK we have some cough sweets called lockets, and they have like a almost medicinal hard outer shell. When you soak them, there's a kind of eucalyptus sort of taste to them, but then when you bite them, they're full of a sticky sweet honey. and it's kind of coming over as that. So anyone in the UK, they'll know what I mean by lockets. Yeah, it's sort of almost a medicinal honey type taste to it. It's not, again, not unpleasant. It's just what it reminds me of. And we talk about that when we're doing whiskey tasting. We use reference points, whether it be on the nose or on the palate. The way to express what we're getting is by referring back to reference points, and for me this comes across as locket sweets. It's nice, it's not complicated really, it's quite simple I think. There's a slight afterburn, but for me the finish is really short. It's one of those drams where you would probably keep going, as opposed to when, you know, if you've got that longer finish, you might take a drink, put the glass down, sit, have a chat. With this one, I can see myself finishing your dram quite quickly. I'll be honest, when I'm talking about finishing it quite quickly, I think it's probably taken me about 6 months to go through that, but maybe that's because I've got lots of other whiskey here. But yeah, I'm probably going to replace it. I'll probably get, I drive past Dalwhinnie Distillery, not regularly, I drove past it last week to be honest, twice, and I probably should have popped in. But yeah, I'll probably pick up another bottle of the Dalwhinnie 15. I quite like it, it's a simple one that I can have, I find it quite refreshing, maybe during more of a summer dram for me actually. Yeah, and if I think about it, I think there's a winter Dalwhinnie, so maybe I should pick that one up and have a wee sip of that as well. But yeah, Dalwhinnie 15, no complaints. Slàinte guys.